Hey y'all, it's me all in good fun with another video in my What I Learned in History class series. Today I'm going to talk about World War II. That's a real big topic, so I have to break it into a few videos. But this one I want to focus on, the stuff that happened during that war. So way back when I was in elementary school, I started learning about the war. And I learned about how this guy came into power. He was the head of one of the political parties in Germany, and he came into power by promising to fix the economy, which wasn't in good shape at the time. And he also promised that he was going to do something about the Jewish people, because they were taking jobs away from everybody else. And they looked different, they spoke a different language, stuff like that. So anyway, he got elected to supposedly fix the economy. Soon as he got elected, he started doing part of what he promised, which was getting rid of the Jewish people. He started building concentration camps. People got deported off to those camps, transported in trains, and then they also started collecting communists and gypsies and Jehovah's Witnesses and prisoners of war and homosexuals, especially them, putting them into the camps as well. And then, well, they were exterminated. By the end of the war, 12 million people had been exterminated. Now, I learned all about this and I was in disbelief. How could this happen? How could this happen? How did people let this happen? Why those people get on the trains and go there? Of course, there's a lot of propaganda, and they weren't, of course, told they were going to a death camp. Anyway, and then I thought to myself, all those German people sitting by watching it happen, how come nobody did anything? They just watched their neighbors get rounded up and shipped off to a death camp. How could something like that happen? That never happened in the United States, I thought to myself. I thought I'm so lucky I was born after the war in the U.S., where everybody's free. But then you know what? 2025 happened, and the United States elected someone a lot like that person in Germany. And he promised, to make the economy better and to get rid of brown skinned people. And as soon as he got elected, well, they started rounding up all the brown skinned people, and then they started building concentration camps to put the people into, where they're systematically just not feeding them adequately, not giving them sanitary conditions, depriving them of medications they need to survive, and they're becoming unalive. So, quite a lot like what that guy did during World War II. And I imagine to myself, these little Gen Alpha kids going to history class in countries outside the United States, they're learning about what's happened and they're thinking to themselves, how could something like this happen in this day and age? Didn't anybody learn anything from World War II? And oh my gosh, I'm so lucky I live in Sweden. Nothing like that would ever happen here. Anyway, that's my history lesson for today. More on World War II in another lesson. Take care, y'all.